We always clap for our church, so Angie wants to clap. Should we clap for her? Friends, and we have many family members. We also are live streaming, so we have family online celebrating amazing and we are going to open our service today with a time of prayer. And I know we may be of many faiths, but I just invite you to take a moment to be still, we'll have a little silence, and then I'll do an opening prayer. So just turn this opening heart and mind. We turn within to the presence of the divine, which is right here, right now. It is the presence of love, of deep peace, of infinite wisdom in which we live and move and have our being. You know, this presence surrounds us, indwells us, and unites us. It sustains, inspires, and illumines us. Gracious God, today we ask that you surround us with your love, uphold us with your strength, guide us with your wisdom, give us peace that passes all understanding. We know that your love unites us as we're gathered here today in a time of honoring Dustin, a time of celebrating his life, and a time of releasing his spirit to your care. Help us to receive into our hearts the truth of God's eternal life. Help us to realize that Spirit is the truth of each of us, that Spirit changes but does not die. Comfort us in this time of loss. Be our shelter and place of rest. Bless us with your gentle care. Amen. And we're going to have another song requested by Angie, Let It Be.
In times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night gets cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Okay, we can clap. That was great. Thank you, Chris. And thanks for the selection. It's like, it just filled my heart. So we come together to remember and to honor this amazing man, Dustin Callahan, and to celebrate what he was to each of us, each of you, to his family, to you, his friends, and to honor him. And also to remember that he continues to live in our hearts and minds, doesn't he? Still very much alive. We'll talk more about that later. But I believe absolutely in eternal life. I know that he is well and with his Father, and we're grateful for knowing that. It helps to let us really feel present, appreciate him, and know that he's fine. In Psalms it is written, "Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I take the wings of morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand, it shall comfort me." So when we really know that spirit is all that we are, and that we're one with the divine, one with God, whatever you call that amazing presence of life itself, we can move beyond a sense of separation. And this experience of losing this beloved here is an opportunity to discover and know at a deeper level that the very being of our nature is eternal. It's eternal. And that our oneness with those we love is in consciousness and doesn't vanish with their physical presence. So this is time also an opportunity for each of us in our own way to say goodbye with a great memory. It's our desire to have a service that is filled with the spirit of Dustin. We may laugh, we may cry, it's all okay. He was bigger than life, a kind, sweet soul, and a bright light. And I can see that he touched many lives. I'm so grateful each one of you are with us today to celebrate, and even those online. So this is a reading the family selected. Kind of think of this as Dustin talking to us all. Come on, back up so you can see me. It says, "Remember me. I've only slipped into the next room. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by that old familiar name. Speak of me in that easy way, which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Let my name ever be a household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. It is the same, but life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind because I'm out of sight? I'm somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. So we're going to have some sharing with the family. Dustin's mother wants to share first, and then his big brother, Sean. And we will be opening this up to other family members and anybody here that would like to tell a story, say something about him that made a difference in your life. We'll have some time for that. We do have someone who can bring a mic to you if you want to stay where you are to speak, so that we can all hear you. However, if you want to be seen on the live streaming, you need to be at least, I'm told, right here. So we have a mic, you can use it here, so brave ones come up. But right now, beloved Angie.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Mom, or as Dustin called me, Mama Bear, and then eventually it's just Mama, which is special. You know, he called his dad Pops. And I was going to introduce Dustin, or his older brother Sean. Well, you can come up later and do that, though. And Jennifer, the daughter I never had, and the sister Dustin never had. And this is my boyfriend Roy, who, if you haven't met him, he's been by my side through this entire ordeal, and has been a source of greater comfort than you may realize. We just wanted to thank each and every one of you for the unbelievable outpouring of love and support you've shown us. I'm not sure Dustin realized just how many people truly loved him for the sweet, sensitive soul he was. And I hate that word was, he still is. You see, somehow I know he is with us here today. He would be crushed to know that he caused any of us any pain. So we need to be strong for each other, and more importantly, for him. I learned from losing Dustin's dad, Woody, 10 years ago, that causing pain is never the intention when a soul moves on. But it still can't stop them from leaving when it's their time to go. We only got Dustin for a little while, so let's just all be grateful for the time we did have. I do hope some of you might be able to share a thought about Dustin, but if you're more comfortable, please just leave me a note. There's a bunch of note cards on the table out there, and I'm hoping that by reading them at home one at a time, they'll help ease our pain in the days to come. It's been a big blur up until now, and I know how this works. The numbness wears off and the reality sets in, and that's the hard time, and that's when those notes will be really awesome to be able to read. We'll also have the cards at the whiskey barrel later, and many thanks to Jerry. I don't know who you are, Jerry. If you want to raise your hand for me. Jerry, okay. He donated the restaurant, the whiskey barrel, for Dustin's celebration of life, and I'm forever grateful for that. This isn't easy. Lastly, I'd like to read the next poem as a message of love from Dustin to each and every one of you. It's appropriately entitled, Let Me Go. Okay. When I came to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Think about that one. Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that once we shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. Is all part of the Master's plan, a step on the road to home. So when you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we knew. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Angie. And now I'd like to invite Sean and Jennifer to come.
Kind of wish that I would have got to go first. Got to follow up that, huh? So, I mean, really, I spoke to a lot of you guys coming in, but like my mom said, I just want to echo that I'm just so thankful and grateful for all the people that he had in his life and that we have in our life. You know, me and Dustin were brothers, but we were really best friends, and you know, I grew to be really close friends with a lot of his friends, and our group of friends kind of, you know, eventually grew into one group of friends, and it's just, like I said, it's awesome that you guys all came out for this, and those that couldn't make it, or those that reached out, and those that don't know yet, or you know, haven't had a chance to. I just thank everybody, and Dustin would be blown away. So thanks.
Thanks, John. Great.
Oh, wait. You want to say anything about the video? It's about this song. Yeah. Well, now we're going to switch gears into some different kind of songs. I guess I said it.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna switch gears into some music here once we start the video, and then after the video, is that anyone that has anything to say, they can come up. I've shown you that anybody can do it. It's not that hard. So.
Run the video next.
No, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let anybody else that wants to speak if they want to.
Yeah, we're going to have some remembrances before we watch the video, but the video does have some really good music. That's, I think, the main point. And who put that together? See? She's awesome. So, who would like to say a few words about Dustin and what he meant to you?
Just raise your hand and she'll bring the mic to you.
Just think about what a difference he made in your life. Funny stories, what characterized him, and here we go.
For those who don't know me, I worked with Dustin for a couple of years at DCI. My name's Eric. We worked together for 50, 60 hours a week, and when we weren't side by side, we'd always be on the phone with the rest of the group. Dustin was always willing to help. He was always a kind soul. He was gentle, and he was always funny. He was willing to take a joke, and we could make fun of him, and he would never take it seriously, never take it personally. No matter how much we ragged on him, and, he was such a character. I always remember all the times he would have shenanigans and adventures on the weekend with many of the other people, and we'd spend a lot of time on Monday mornings, probably more than we should, just talking about what the drama he got into and making jokes, and even when it was got into some sticky situations, he was always willing to laugh about it. And I just always remember this positive attitude. And no matter what problems came up, he was always willing to help. No matter how many hours he had worked, he was always willing to be there. He treated us like family. And yeah, I love him. I miss him.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Who's ready? Right over here.
Hi everyone, I'm Nick. This was my cousin. We were only about 2 months apart, so we grew up pretty much out of the womb together. So at every family function, we would always be inseparable. You know, a lot of the cousins, they were a little older than us. You know, I always felt like, just one of the little kids. But it was always Dustin was there. No matter what happened, we'd always hang out at every function, whether that was, hanging out in Jason's bedroom playing Nintendo, and he was, making me cry at beating me at Tecmo Bowl, and here we are all these years later, he's still making me cry, that jerk. As I had put on Facebook, me, during the summer times, it was always, I'd spend maybe a week over at the Callahans, or he'd spend a week over at our house, and in that time we'd be skateboarding and listening to punk music, and that was something that he always had a knack for, was he would always introduce me to new things, and sometimes that was new music, we'd be in the back bedroom at my grandparents' house, and I'd say, hey, let's watch Nickelodeon. He's like, no, man, we're too cool for that. Let's watch some MTV. So, every time that we got a chance to hang out and we partied, I always felt a little cooler. And, going, in high school, coming out here, he would always, introduce me to his friends and invite me to the parties, and never made me feel like I was a stranger, like he would always introduce me to his friends and make sure that I felt welcome. And that's, I think, how he made a lot of people feel. He always made me feel welcome. And that stupid grin of his, that smile that was so infectious, that, joy to everybody that he met. And, I'm going to miss him for that. I'm going to miss him for, just being able to, every time that I saw him, just, joke around with him and tease him, and he'd tease me back, and it'd go back and forth, and he always made me feel just so cool, and
You're cool.
I'm not, but I know that if he was here, he'd call me a loser the very first time. And he'd be right, but anyway, I just wanted to let you all know how much he meant to me and how much he helped shape my life, and I'm going to miss him forever, knowing that he'll always be in my memories, and he'll always be in my heart. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steven. I've known Dustin since I was a little kid. He was friends with my older cousin Josh. So at our family parties and stuff, they were like 10 years older than me. I remember meeting Dustin when I was like 3 years old. Then we ran into each other through mutual friends and stuff as I got older. As he was just saying, Dustin was always someone that you could trash talk with. He's real witty. And he's one of the few people that can kind of shut me up, like one up me on that, because I'm pretty good at it too. So I was looking at him and going, screw you, Dustin. And he'd say, no, with that attitude. So that's like the biggest thing I keep hearing that in my head. I hear it once. I'm gonna miss that guy, man. He's a good friend.
I want you to know our microphone person is Lori, and she also is a Kleenex dispenser, so, you can raise your hand for whatever you might need. Love his stories. Wow, touches my heart. Oh, you can tell a story. You're next.
Good afternoon, my name is Mike. It's a privilege of mine to work with Dustin for a lot of different reasons. But the one that comes to mind most often, I'm probably the most far removed person from Dustin's life than anybody in this room. It was just a privilege for me to work with him. Well, what got me the most in the short time that I knew him was his ability for self-deprecating humor. In another life, he would have made a great stand-up comic. Case in point, it was on an occasion last summer when he asked me for a new safety vest at work. I work in the safety department at work. And unknowingly, I grabbed the small vest on my head. To my further delight, not only did I not recognize that it was a size small vest, and Dustin was closer to a 2X, I hope that didn't offend anybody. But not only did he put the vest on without complaint, but he managed to zip it up. Immediately, the workplace went wild. Probably came out and shown me the mistake that I had made. And at his own expense, like I say, he wore that vest for most of the morning that he was there. And that was just the kind of guy he was. He could make a joke about himself, about others. And he not only, I got to disagree with one of the supervisors when I worked with that, upon learning that Dustin had passed away into another life, that he lit up a room when he walked in. And I got to disagree with that. He lit the world up. He was just one of those people, and no matter where he went, he could hold an audience, whether it was one or many. I'm not going to miss him. His precious memories to me is the unique sense of humor that he brought to the workplace. When I tell you, our workplace could use a little humor from time to time. And Dustin was the one that brought it to us. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful to be here with Vic.
Yeah. Everybody's in the back, did you notice that?
Hi, everybody. I'm Seth, for any of you that don't know me. Excuse my language ahead of time if I try to get through this. I was blessed and honored to be part of Dustin's, I'm going to call it other family, and everybody in here knows who it is and what it was. He never let it die. If you knew Dustin, you knew about DRK and this thing that we had. And he was our whipping boy. And as we've now heard from most everybody in here, he embraced the hell out of it. There was, you could not beat Dustin down. He did not smile. He did not have something good to say, ever. I'd love to share stories, but probably most of the stories I have are not appropriate. Of all the time I spent with Dustin, we never went anywhere or never went anywhere without running into somebody that he didn't know. There's always somebody. We'd go here, we'd go there. Somebody knew Dustin, and that was a testament to the kind of guy that Dustin was. Everybody loved that guy. He was just a super good guy, a super good character, sweet, biggest heart out of probably most people I know. And I'm thankful that I got to know him and know the Callahan family. I'll met Angie a few times. Angie, if you remember me. And big shot there. And he was one for the Bucks, and he's going to be missed. But we'll see him again. I guarantee if there's something better beyond you now, that's where he's at. He's probably looking down right now.
Angie has a story. She can just step right here.
I just have one last little story about Dust. When he was just a little dude, like maybe 3 or 4 years old, and this kind of set the stage for his life. He was outside, we were both out front in the yard, and he was being a boy playing in the dirt with his trucks, and I was doing something else, and all of a sudden I hear, Mom, come here, Mom. And I'm like, what? And he discovered, it was springtime, and we had a rose bush there, and he discovered those roses, and he was like, feel how soft this is. And I was like, oh, my heart stopped, and I was like, oh my God, I hope to God he never loses that sweet, sweet soul. And he never did, you know, and that's what I wanted to share about.
Love it. That is sweet. Sweet. Who else? So you can come up.
I'm going to come up there because I feel like I have family watching virally.
She wants to introduce you. You going to stand there?
Yeah. I mean, Sean made it easy, so.
You can do it.
Hi, I am Jamie. I am one of the cousins that Nick, sorry, we don't call you Nico anymore, was talking about earlier. One of the older cousins that Nick was talking about earlier, and I wanted to elaborate on what he was talking about. So when he said that we had family gatherings, he meant like all the time. So we all grew up together really closely. Nick and Dustin were literally inseparable at those family gatherings. And that room that he talked about at Grandma and Grandpa's house, there was a lot of MTV, but I am certain that Dustin had no choice but to love dirt bikes, because between the blood from Papa and Angie's dad and watching on any given Sunday 752,612 times, he couldn't help it. His older cousins made him watch that at least that many times, and he couldn't help but love motorcycles. And I am thankful that my childhood was so great. I was watching home videos from the early 90s and late 80s before I came here today, because I was looking for one that I wanted to share with the family. But I just have to say, our childhood was badass, and Dustin was a part of that, and I will always cherish those memories. And thanks to all of the folks in this room who helped raise us, or me and him and everybody else. We have great memories to share, and I'm thankful that I got to share it with him. And the thing that I will remember most about Dustin is that I moved away from Southern California 22 years ago, and I only came home every few years for family gatherings, but every time I came home, walk in the room, Dustin has this giant smile, big old bear of a hug, and you just start where you left off. So it made you feel so comfortable, made me feel like no time had gone by, that I was still loved and he was still loved, and I'm thankful for that. So, thanks to my childhood, everyone. I want a favorite answer in the room right now. I know.
I'm thinking we need some more brick souls up here so they can see you, family and friends on video there. Who's next? Just take a moment, tune in, and see if it's you. It's that thing I'm thinking about saying something I really should say now, because, maybe not, and maybe yes.
Or maybe write it on a card.
Or write it on a card for the family to really, have those memories and be lifted up as they continue to process this big change in their lives. Anybody? Oh, good.
Not promising I'll make it through this.
Hold it up close.
I'm Jason, as Dusty always called me, J-Dog. He was a little brother to me. He always loved me. I'm a Colorado boy now, grew up here, huge Broncos fan. He's a huge Chargers fan. They hate each other. So, guaranteed, clockwork, twice a year we play them. My phone would be, donkeys suck. Hashtag pulled up. Always quick to come talk about the donkeys, as he liked to call them. So I'm going to miss that. That banter he always gave me, but I promise I'm going to take him to a game one of these days. And if it's one thing I never did, I don't ever think I told Dusty I love him. He knew I loved him, but I never said. So, Dusty, I love you, buddy. I'm going to miss you.
Anybody else? Angie's going, it's okay. See, there's another one, Angie. You're so good.
So I'm from the other half of the family. I'm Dustin's dad's sister. I'm Auntie Zanny to Dustin. And Dustin was Dustbuster to me. So I had my sweet little nephew, Sean Awana, and Dustbuster. And Sister Kim, and my son Nathan. I liked those boys because they had the best mom and dad. Angie and Woody loved each other dearly and deeply. And that reflects in both of these young men's lives. And if I can say anything to each of you is, love your spouse because your kids are watching, and that's the most important thing. And I know Dustin is with his dad, my brother, and they're just having a wonderful time watching us right now, and happy as can be because they both were full of joy. So, thank you.
It's good, isn't it? So good. Thank you. Boy, wonderful. I'm looking for the hand. There's one more. Is there one more? Maybe? Well, okay. Going. We must be done. Thank you, Lori. And thank you, everyone who spoke. I know it just means so much for each of us to hear those stories, doesn't it? It's awesome. Yeah. So here's what I heard from the family. I didn't meet Dustin. I know Angie from church. But here's what I heard. Dustin was everybody's brother. He was a father figure to some and an uncle to others. He was never afraid of hard work. He was dependable. He never called in sick. He had a big presence, and also, literally, they said, he could light up a room, but now I know that was wrong. He could light up the world. He did light up the world. He does light up the world. And he lights up our hearts. And so, even though it's natural to grieve the loss of someone so dear, because it is hard, it's a loss, and we're all feeling that today, I believe that we can find some comfort if we carry them in our own hearts and minds. And one way I like to do that is I like to think about the quality that was most meaningful in Dustin, or Dustbuster, or Dusty. What is it about him that I can embody in myself and bring into the world? Is it that warm welcome? Is it the big smile? Is it the bear hugs that people are hungry for today? Is it just that positive attitude, that sense of humor? Let's take that on, and that way we continue to see Dusty in our lives and in the world. It's the most wonderful thing. His strong spirit and his loving heart continue on in us. So now I'd just like to turn within again for some prayer. So just turning within, letting go of the outer world. Would you join me? And sense into that place within where we can commune with God, with the divine. And I invite you to create a sense of sacred space within your own mind and heart. And in this sacred space, we feel the loving, peaceful presence of the divine, of God. And into this sacred space, I invite you to bring a vision of Dustin, the spirit of Dustin, radiant and whole. And let us take a moment to be grateful for this life so generously shared, to give thanks for all the experiences that have been shared with this beloved one, for the love and friendship that you enjoy, knowing that he is whole, he is radiant, he is free. We now release him to life everlasting with God. We know that the light of truth illumines his way and that the power of God sustains him. We know that free from all human limitation, he is at peace, and all is well. The peace of God, which passes understanding, abides with him, now and forevermore. Amen. And from Khalil Gibran, Angie asked me to share this last reading as we begin to close our service. He says, I was here from the moment of the beginning, and here I am still. And I shall remain here until the end of the world. I have passed a mountain peak, and my soul is soaring in the firmament of complete and unbounded freedom. The voices of the throngs are reduced to silence, and I can hear naught but the music of eternity. In exact harmony with the Spirit's desire, I am cloaked in full whiteness. I am in comfort. I am at peace. And now may God, the God of peace, be with us. The God of love console us. The God of wisdom caused us to know that there's no death, only eternal life. And so it is. And this concludes our service. You are invited to come for some light refreshments in our community room. It's just straight across the hall through the double doors. Oh, the video. Oh, I went way ahead of the video. Yeah, we're going to finish with the video and the music. It actually said that in my program. I was so present in your story. Here we go.
When I was young, I was invincible. I found myself not thinking twice. I never thought about no future. It's just a roll of dice. But the day may come when you got something to lose. And just when you think you're done paying dues, you say to yourself, dear God, what have I done? And hope it's not too late, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Yesterday is history, and tomorrow's mystery. Oh, baby, right now, it's just about you and me. You can run, you can hide, just like Bonnie and Clyde. Reach for the sky, ain't never gonna die. Thank the Lord for the love that I have found, and hold you tight, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. So if you please take this moment, try you can make it last. Don't think about no future, just forget about the past and make it last. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come.
If I ever leave this world alive, I'll thank you for the things you did in my life. If I ever leave this world alive, I'll come back down and sit beside your feet tonight. Wherever I am, you'll always be more than just a memory. If I ever leave this world alive,
Step one, you say we need to talk. He walks, you say sit down, it's just a talk. He smiles politely back at you. You stare politely right on through some sort of window to your right. As he goes left and you stay right between the lines of fear and blame. You begin to wonder why you came back. Did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life. Let him know that you know best, 'cause after all you do know best. You do know best. Try to slip past his defense without granting innocence. Lay down a list of what is wrong, the things you told him all along, and pray to God he hears you, and pray to God he hears you. And where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life. As he begins to raise his voice, you lower yours and grant him one last choice. Drive until you lose the road, or break with the ones who follow. He will do one of two things. He will admit to everything, or he'll say he's just not the same, and you'll begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life. How to save a life. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life. How to save a life. How to save a life.
That was a better way to end it anyway, wasn't it? Very much the spirit of Dusty. So thank you for being here. We are going to have some refreshments in the community room, and then the celebration of life continues at the Whiskey Barrel Saloon. I'm sure you all find your way there. So it'll take a few minutes for them to put the food over there, but just go through the double doors and you'll find it whenever you like. And let's all give the family some hugs as we celebrate.
Dave. How are you? All right.
Do you feel better with the pacemaker? Oh, well, mine's high, so we're good. I'm not. Thank you. Yeah, I know, let's join together. Oh, no, I don't think you could. What makes I know there you do anything else? How are you? My stomach's a lot about that. Well, yeah. I gotta have such fun. I know. And then I was talking to your youngest yesterday. Sounds like she's terrible. The doctor is great. She said that she's going to be losing